Hey, Shalom. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the nation of Israel, better known as the Great Millstone. And Shalom and salutations to all you sincere brothers who push this word in truth and in sincerity. Um, so lately the hot topic has been, you know, Gentiles versus the Gentiles, Edomites, Israel, the elect. Okay, and this Edomite here. Okay, Dr. Oakley, 1689. Okay, um, he's got this channel, Alpha and Omega Ministries, and basically what they're saying, from what I understood and gathered, is that they're saying that Esau and Edom basically have been done away with, and that's all in the past. But that's that's an Edomite teaching that lie, man. Okay, and I mean Obadiah 1 and 6 really gets to the point. Um, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? You know, that's straight to the point, right? So how, right? And you'll know him by his spirit, man. And it's a nation. This is a nation. When it talks about Esau and Edom, see, the Most High, he judges by nations. Okay, so when you read this, a strong vision is painted of the so-called white race. Okay, and they're so-called because they call themselves white. No one has given that name because really they're red. They're criminals. They're crimson. They're red. Edom, they're red. Okay, so exalting thyself as the eagle, all these great Caucasian empires have been known as the eagle. But one thing that I did was, let's just Google it. Where and who is Esau today, right? I want to see what these Edomites had to say. And so I went by search tools and I went by past year. Okay, and these are some of the the main ones that come up. Okay, and it's kind of funny, it's kind of funny what these devils have to say. You know, basically they say that Edom is a spirit, Esau is a spirit. Okay, and it's just a whacked out. It's just a whacked. They got some whacked out shit to say. Um, but here we go. It says, the question of the identity of the Edomites is a matter of great importance as we come into the latter days. What is the essential spiritual character of an Edomite? And we shall discover, and as we shall discover, this is the key to the matter. Right here they go, right? Not bloodlines or race. You see, so right here, they're already going off with this right here. They say not bloodlines or race. Certainly, the Edomite spirit has and still does track down through families. Okay, uh, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? That's tracked down through a bloodline, through a race, through a family, right? So why is Edom exempt from this? Why is he exempt? Okay, it says, but any person of any race can become an Edomite by an adoption of that Edomite spirit. So you mean to tell me this is where they get that? Oh, I'm a spiritual Israelite. Nah, man, that doesn't work that way. And Romans, the 9th chapter, expounds on that point. Okay, this is just the devil, doing what he needs to do. And, they'll always try to find a way around this. But look at Romans 9:3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Yahweh Shai for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites. Wait, according to the Spirit, who are Israelites according to the flesh, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises, the kingdom, ruling these nations with the rod of iron, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahweh Shai came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever. Amen. So that right there just cuts all this bullshit, and it's milk. That's milk. Okay. It says, but any person of any race can become an Edomite by an adoption of that Edomite spirit. At its essence, the Edomite identity is a spiritual way of feeling, thinking, and acting. That's a lie. That's not scriptural. That's not a lie. That's not scripture. It is not just a matter of DNA or ancestral lineage. Being an Edomite is a matter of character and a certain jaded or negative disposition to the Most High and to anyone who upholds anything that lifts up the banner of holiness or righteousness. So right off the bat, his whole stance is off of emotion. Okay, whoever wrote this is by endtimepilgrims.org. Oh, YouTube user Gavin Finley. Let's check him out. Maybe he's got some hardcore knowledge or something. You know, Gavin Finley, right? Okay. Salaki Gavin. That should be him. Oh, is that the guy? Oh, look at this guy's deep. Let's see if he's got anything. Not too much there. You know, the Dutch people in the tribe of Zebulun. So Reuben in the nation of France. Let's see what he says.
Again?
It says the lost tribe of Reuben went west into Europe to coalesce as the Franks within the borders of what is the nation of France. Wow. Okay, so like you just kind of reading. So you see these Edomites. Everything has to change. Okay, now first of all, Edom, the nation themselves, they're not a spiritual people. Okay, and it explains that when they would have got the blessing, he sold it. He sold eternity. He sold the kingdom of heaven for raw meat, you know, for raw food. So these Edomites, they're not spiritual people, and that's why right here, you know, they're trying to act spiritual with this with this uh, with this sentence here. They'll say things like this to make it seem like they're spiritual, but really, they're carnal as hell, and they know that they don't want to pay that tab, so they're trying to, appear as an angel of light. Okay, so going to this wasn't really too much of anything. Actually, isn't this the same guy that was on? Hey, it's the same guy. Okay, which I think this is the Yaar Davidi. I think this guy in the hat. I think that's him. Okay, so apparently he writes a book, and he says a good portion. Okay, well let's see. Okay, he's got that red sense of Esau were found spread throughout other nations. I mean, some pearls, Israelites scared. Okay, a good portion of the Israelites are to be found in the exile in the Galut, the exile of Edom. Judah was amongst Edomites in the physical sense, whereas Joseph, the 10 tribes, is still a captive in the psychological, social, and spiritual spheres. Descendants of Edom include the historical founders of Russia, China, and Japan. Esau was important in the genesis of ancient Sparta, of early Rome, of Venice, and of Germany, and of numerous other nations. Esau was also known as Edom. Edomites are to be found amongst many other peoples, including those of the West. Input from Edom may well be present in the genealogies of many of us today. So you see how they think the Most High hasn't got rid of Esau as a nation yet, man. Okay, they have physical and spiritual characteristics about them. The biggest one being that they're a murderer and a destroyer, man. So when you do this search on who is, where and who is Esau today, who is Edom, this is the kind of shit you're gonna come across, man. And it's all it is a bunch of Edomites saying that they're not Edom, and then you get a bunch of Edomites that's saying that they're Israel. So that's showing you right there that if Satan cast out Satan, a nation divided against itself, it cannot stand. Okay? So look at this. I mean, it says, it has thus been unclear when, how, and why Edom ceased to exist as a state, although many scholars point to scriptural references in the Bible, specifically the historical book of Obadiah, to explain this fact. Well, Obadiah hasn't happened yet. It's happening now. We're in the process of watching Obadiah happen, because Esau still has to be eradicated. He has to serve slavery and then be eradicated. So it's telling you right here that Edom will be completely destroyed. And he's still here. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's still here. He's ruling the earth, man. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. See, those are like dark sayings to these, especially to Edom, man. Scriptures tell you the wise men were going to be destroyed out of Edom. They're not gonna get this thing no more, man. Right here, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? Right. So that's plain. And so like the apostle Gabar, and also the elder, so like elder Manatazak, they did I might be on the air. It's a lot. I think it's on air. They did the live show today, and they went into how you have the elites of the so-called white men that know that they're the nation of Edom, but the little peons, they don't want to accept it. You know. So when you watch this, I was able to catch about 30 minutes in and forward, and they bring out the point. The elites know that they're Edomites. The Jewish rats know that
New
they're
destruction,
Edomites.
which is going to, by the way, help to clean the earth. Yep.
So that was a good lesson. Okay. So look, here's another point. Right here. It says, verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Whose? Who's being talked about? Whose possessions are we gonna possess? Edom. So has Israel as a nation been delivered yet? Have the elect been delivered? Has what these crackers call the rapture, has it taken place? It hasn't taken place, right? Okay, they'll agree on that. The rapture hasn't happened, right? So then how can Obadiah have already taken place? Okay, see, it's a nation, it's a nationality thing, which is crazy because these same crackers, they'll get mad. This is something that I and a lot of other brothers probably experienced growing up. But you'd go somewhere with your family and you'd have some random cracker come up to you and say, "Hey, where are you from?" And my dad would always tell him, being in the world, he'd say, "What are you talking about? Where am I from? I'm an American." He's like, "No, no, no. Like, where are you from? Like, where are you from?" He's like, "What the fuck you mean?" So they understand this nationality thing, like they're the shit, and you can't be a part of their nation. They're like, "No, you're not American. You're not white. Like, what are you? What's your ethnicity? What's your race? What are you? Where do you come from? Come from?" But whenever you ask these devils, they say like, "Oh, I'm from here. I'm a native of America." You know, like, "Nah, man, your people stole this land. Where'd your people come from? If you're a cracker?" They say, "Oh, probably England or Britain or something." It's like, yeah, and how'd you get that land? which was another point that was made in one of these articles. Um, basically went into how they know that they're Caucasians and they call themselves Caucasians, but um, they stop there. They don't go further into find out, well, why are they called Caucasians? Why is that? Why are they called Caucasians? I don't think it was this page. It might have been one of these. But just something to point out and something to show, never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up. Don't want to go too long with this, brothers. Hopefully, see the point. I didn't want to click on anything that was. I wanted to see what the so-called white man had to say about it. Because we know the truth. We know that he is Esau. He is Edom. Okay. And with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.